G'day, it's Brett here for this week's edition of Esports Weekly. Now, if you're wondering why I'm sort of out here and all that, it's because I'm sort of doing a bit of a coverage on pocket camcorders, more specifically the tiny ones that you can use that sort of look like this. So I've actually got two. I was going to run through the differences between them. Now, if you're asking why these are sort of useful, the main part is that they can do HD video. Now, until recently that hasn't been possible. These do 1080p recording and all the way down to 480p. So it's fairly impressive video. Quality wise, very impressive. Main thing to focus about these is the microphones. Now this one here is the Kodak Zi8. Now this one's nice. I'll do a bit of a run through of it. It's got an audio input socket, so you can plug in a proper microphone. Now if you're in for a bit of geekery like me, that means you can plug in a beefy microphone, make it look like a bit of a ghetto camcording setup, I guess, well, which looks, fantastic. So these often have one button touch to put things up on YouTube, or with the Kodak Zi8, actually lets you chuck stuff up on Facebook, which is kind of cool. This also has a focus part of it, so you can let that to focus close up macro zoom, which is nice, or a normal one, which is more of what this stuff is, standard recording as you're running around the streets. Another part for these to look at is how well it records in low light. Now this is more of a standard kind of setting, but so anyway, about the comparison, what you're seeing this recorded on is the Samsung UMX H10. Now switch this off and go to the Kodak one. So you've seen what the Samsung I'm about to talk about is, and let's switch over to the Kodak and I'll give my opinion on both of them. Alright, now this is recording switched over to the different camcorder. So this is done on the Kodak Zi8, which I was just showing you earlier. Now the first things about it is that you can see the lens is a lot wider, you can see more stuff. It has a nice, it's not optical, but it's actual digital zoom that's sort of decent. I mean, when you're recording at 720p, which is what I'm doing here, actually uses the pixels left over from say 1080p to do, zooming in a bit closer, and it's actually smooth and usable. Anyway, so this is the Samsung UMX H10. So this is what we were using earlier to record me. Looks nice. It's got a nice sort of angled curve to it. Now, what I forgot to mention earlier is that these all use SDHC for its recording. So this is all memory card kind of stuff. Plug it in, off you go. Now, the cool thing about these is that they use USB. So you plug it in and off it goes. In fact, it has a movie studio built into it, so it'll edit your clips, or usually you press the button and it'll upload onto YouTube or Facebook. So that's the review about these. Personally, I'm much more of a fan of the Kodak Zi8, and that's because mainly of it's got an audio input, so I can geek it out with a lot better of an audio input in there. Microphones are the inbuilt ones. I'd have to say that this one is a lot better. It's got ones on the rear and the front, so it's fairly good compared to this one. You've actually got to plug something in there, but that's not much of a beef for me. So anyway, that's my tech here. If you're after a pocket camcorder, Kodak Zi8, roughly around 200-ish, and these are worth around 150. So these are fairly cheap if you want like a digital video camera. Still images, takes them as well. Pretty average quality, but if you're putting it up on the web, who cares? So that's here, Super H, aka Brett. That's it for me. Hope you're enjoying Esports Weekly. See you later. Get some! What I forgot to mention earlier is that these all both use SDHC